Welcome back to Just Fun Stuff. It is another beautiful day here on Funland, but before we get this day started, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another upload. And let's go ahead and get today started. Alright, so we're getting right to work. We're putting up a base. Basically what we are doing is continuing on with wedding season, and we are just putting a little wedding chapel up beside the museum area, and it's going to be a simple panel build along with a lot of accessories, and I'm pretty excited about this one. It's pretty fancy, but kind of still following along that rustic theme we were going with before. So basically what we're doing is we're starting with a 5x8 platform, and then we are going to cover the front with simple panels. It's going to create the base of our chapel. Now, the designs, obviously, the gold panels are already preloaded when you go to customize, and then the windows are just white windows I found at Able Sisters, so any windows you want to use for your chapel would look good. Now, I was gonna use the white walled simple panels to do it, but for the outdoorsy kind of chapel that I was going for, I thought the wood trim in between looked good, but again, it's always a personal choice. Right now, we are just filling up the space up top so that it won't look so open when you go and tear up, and now it's fill up our pockets and get the rest of our accessories for up top. The fun thing about this wedding chapel that we're putting in is getting to use a lot of the wedding items that we get from visiting Harv's Island and doing the anniversary photo shoots. I've been going literally every day since it started, and I have been collecting the hearts and collecting the items, and I wanted a really fun way to use them and showcase them, and I think this is it. The wedding pipe organs are basically going to be the highest pillars of our outdoor chapel, and I think they look great. Using them from behind, not using the actual organ facing front, I think just using the big white back looked really nice. I mean, if you want to do it the other way, it looked really good too, but I just like the simplistic look of that. It makes it look like the outside of a chapel. More simple panels again, just to close in any gaps. And I know it looks pretty open in between, but when you're on the ground and you pan up to actually look at it, when she does do that, when Poppy does that, you'll see that you can't see any space, and it looks really, really nice. See? All right, after pocket filling, now it's just putting a few more street lamps up top. It creates light, it creates height. I think it looks really great. Now comes the next best part, aside from filling pockets, which is the actual decorating. Now that the actual chapel itself is up, it's all gonna come together with the rest of the decorating, and that starts now. And of course, it starts with some sort of path. Now, I thought and then rethought on the path. I was going to originally do it with the stone because I thought that would look nice in front of a chapel, but then I thought when we did the museum, I had said that it's kind of setting the tone for what we're going with on the island, and I thought using the same path that we used at the museum would kind of carry that same look through, so it still looks fancy, but not. It still gets that rustic feeling out there, and I think it's a beautiful path, and it goes with literally everything, so I think it worked out well. I mean, I do like the stone paths, and I like that you can curve them and create with them, and you can also overlay things on them, but I thought for this particular build I was just going to use the same path. Just cleaning up the area a little bit more, and back to more path work. Paths are probably my biggest love-hate thing on this whole game. A good path makes your area just, it brings everything together and it looks so nice. But I am literally the worst path builder ever. It takes me forever to try and figure out a design, to get it to go together, to get the shape that I'm looking for. I mean, the amount of time that I've spent just on blank parts of the island, putting together path pieces, trying to figure out how to get them to curve and move and to form around things. It's just an obscene amount of time, and I'm still have not perfected it. It is getting better though. My first path attempts were definitely pretty rough compared to what I'm doing now. At least I'm getting some shape now, and it's starting to come together. This path is almost coming to an end, which is nice. Now I know that there's a few more spots that need to be filled in, a few mistakes that need to be touched up, mistakes that Poppy makes as she goes. Almost done and done. So even just the path out front of the chapel makes all the difference. Now comes the decorating. Now, I customized the wedding items that I'm going to be using to be the garden pattern. I love the chic one, I really, really do, but I figured because we're getting into the height of summer, I wanted something a little more vibrant and bright, so I went with the garden theme. But the fun thing about this chapel build is it's something that doesn't just have to be a summertime thing. You can customize and change it as the seasons change, even change the color of the panels and the windows, and it becomes a completely different build. Change the pipe organs. You can change them for the winter. You can change them for like the fall Halloween season. So I'm excited to see what we can do with it as the seasons progress. But I think as it stands right now in the summer state, it's absolutely stunning when it's done. Basically what I was trying to create is a chapel in the woods. So I want lots and lots and lots of mush items, lots of trees, lots of light, the path work, but I haven't overfilled it with the trees yet as we're doing this build because we still have the whole area beside it up top that we still need to decorate. So once I've figured out how we're going to design the rest of this top portion of the island, that's when we get to come back and throw in some more paths, throw in a lot more trees and flowers, and really create that rustic forest look we're going for. But I think, as you can see right now with the trees and the decorations that we're putting in, we're getting that look already, and I think it looks amazing. Final touches on the path. More shrubs. More flowers. I went with strictly white flowers for this because, again, it's wedding season and wedding chapel, so with the white, and I thought because we're using the garden themed flower stands and the flower theme, the garden themed arches, I thought white went really well with all the yellow. Now that I'm looking at it, we might throw in some of those green mums that are hanging out over on the left because I think they'd go really well with this. All right, final touches. A few more wedding flower stands, a couple more plants because we have them and they look great. Checking it out, you can see it has that chapel in the woods kind of look. Next up, few more mush items. Then we are going to just put a few hedges in the front just to kind of finish off the look, create its own little area, put up a plant, and that is it. I think it's stunning. I think it turned out beautiful. I love the area around it. It's just a beautiful little wedding chapel. I'm happy with the way it turned out. And with that being said, we're going to call that a day. Thank you guys so much for creating this with me. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, and I will see you in the next video.